Welcome. Hopefully you can hear okay. I'll get adjusted. I'll adjust it real soon. We have a special guest today. Can you guess who it is? It's Empathy Bear. He came especially to join this live stream. Well, since everybody's familiar with the word empathy and what it means, we're going to have a real fun live stream today. Right? The topic is independence after narcissistic abuse and a narcissist. When you get your life back and you get away from them and you start being happy and doing things you want for yourself, like starting a business or getting a new job or having friends or wanting to go dating. Let's talk about empathy. What's empathy? It's when you're capable of what? Feeling things? Like what? Emotions? What are emotions? Let's go over what are emotions again. Yeah, give me a minute. Let me get my notes. First, the 6 primary emotions. 6 primary emotions. Emotions. Do you know what emotions are? Since you have empathy? Number 1, happiness. Have you ever experienced that emotion, happiness? All of Malton. They're going to sit and watch this tonight. Number 2, fear. Have you ever experienced fear, Malton? Do you know what that emotion is? Fear? Oh, did I forget to mention Amy Seukeran, Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Life Coach, nonprofit organization CEO. Number 3, surprise. Have you ever experienced the emotion of surprise, Malton? Number 4, sadness. Have you ever experienced the emotion of sadness, Malton? Number 5, anger. Have you ever experienced the emotion of anger, Malton? 6, disgust. Have you ever experienced the emotion of disgust, Malton? Those are the 6 primary emotions, right? You're talking about emotional regulation. So what is regulation of those emotions? Which ones do you need to regulate? Do you need to regulate being happy? Is that normal, being happy? Do you need to regulate it when you're happy? How about fear? Go ahead. Do you need to regulate when you're afraid? What do you need to do? Calm down? When you're afraid, what do you need to do? Run away? Fight or flight? How about surprise? You need to regulate the emotion of surprise. Is that normal when you're surprised, or do you have to regulate it? Sadness. The emotion of sadness. Is that normal, or do you have to regulate it? If you have to regulate it, is that depression, or is that normal sadness? Anger. What's normal anger, Malton? When do you have to regulate anger? What's the border? When there's violence, when there's physical abuse, which one? When do you have to regulate anger, Malton? Disgust. When do you have to regulate disgust? Is that normal? Is that a normal emotion you have all the time, or do you have to regulate it? Those are the 6 primary emotions, Malton. Do you know that? Those are normal emotions people have? So what is empathy, Malton? When you have those, when you feel them for other people, what is empathy? What's emotional intelligence? Being aware of what? Your emotions? Like what? When you're mad? Why you're mad? Well, who teaches you about emotions? What's normal? Does the school teach you? Does the school teach children? When you're mad, what you're supposed to do, how to deal with it? What do they teach you to do when you're mad at school? What do they teach you to do when you're happy at school? What do they teach you to do when you're sad at school? What do they teach you to do when you're afraid at school? I don't think they teach disgust to children yet, right? That's for the older kids. Which one did I miss? Oh, this is in response to the people texting my phone about Empathy Bear. When I saw them, I had anger and disgust, a lot of anger and disgust and sadness from Alton and their children. That's why I decided to bring Empathy Bear on the live stream. Maybe he'll have empathy for you, right? Well, what's happiness? What's something that makes you happy? What's something you do that makes you happy? All by yourself, that you do. All by yourself, that makes you happy. What's something that makes you sad? What's something that makes you afraid? What's something that makes you angry? Why do you think adults have to take anger management? The court tells them to? Why do you think adults have to take anger management courses? Because they can't regulate their anger? Because they don't want to go to jail? Why do you think they make you take anger management courses? To control your anger? Because it's out of control? Is that regulating your emotion? Okay, what about fear? How do we regulate our fear if we're afraid? We run away? We take deep breaths? We swear? We fight? We hide? What do we do when we're afraid? We stop breathing? We panic? So how do we regulate it? What do we do? We don't regulate it. We stay afraid until the next time. We avoid what makes us afraid. We live with the fear until it turns to what? Anxiety. If we don't deal with fear, what's it going to turn into? You don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to see anyone. What does it turn into if you don't deal with your fear? Panic or anxiety? Just panic first? You panic over seeing the person or hearing? Which one? So then after anxiety, what happens to you? If you don't deal with your anxiety, what happens? You have to get medication? It gets worse? You're the one leaving comments about regulating emotions. You've been teaching what for 6 years? Because we can't control our emotions. So which one can't you control? Happiness, when you're laughing, you can't control it. And that's why you get in trouble in school. Okay, well, what about anger when you have an argument at school? Is that the same thing? The teacher gets mad because you guys can't control yourselves, right? They're the teacher. They have to stop you. They're the adults responsible for stopping you. Until what age? When do you learn to stop yourself from fighting? If it's school. Not everyone can confront fear. So what's crying? What emotion do you think crying is? If we can't control our emotions and we cry, what do you think that is? More than one? What is the emotion when you cry? God said, be not afraid. That's courage, right? That's bravery. We all have courage and bravery, right? If you talk to somebody at school, that's courage and bravery, right? The first day of school, when you make friends, you talk to new kids. That's courage, right? And bravery to talk to new kids. Some adults can't do that, right? Make friends and go talk to other adults. The kids should know that. They're not as brave. They can't do that with adults. They can't go and make friends and talk to new adults. Let's talk about surprise. The emotion of surprise. When are you surprised? That's just separated. If it's your birthday and you get a party, that's a surprise. If a kid hits you, that's a surprise. We did say everybody. Okay, so what's disgust? When people do things like what? Things that are unfair? Things that are mean? When are you disgusted? When it's something you know is wrong? 20 minutes in. We've gone over happiness, fear, surprise, sadness, anger, and disgust, the 6 primary emotions. So what did you guys do for 6 years? Stretched out what to teach who? When you say homophobic things, I become disgusted. Don't trust wine. Well, don't trust wine. Why don't you explain that to us? Do you want to explain homophobia to us? What's a phobia, Malton? That's when you're afraid of something, right? A phobia? If you have a fear of spiders, what is that? Are we joking? Maybe you need a better lesson than you think. Let me hear you again. What do you think homophobia is? Want me to look it up and tell you the definition of a phobia now? I'm just reading from Google. A phobia is an excessive, persistent, and irrational fear of an object, situation, or activity that triggers intense anxiety or panic and often leads to avoidance behaviors. So is that racism too? Discrimination, hate? Are we including all of them? It is a type of anxiety disorder where the fear is disproportionate to the actual danger posed. Like ignorance, kind of. Common types include specific phobias such as agoraphobia, fear of open spaces or places where escape might be difficult. Social anxiety disorder. Phobias can be treated with therapies like exposure therapy and cognitive behavioral therapy, good old CBT, along with lifestyle adjustment and self-care. What a phobia is: excessive and irrational fear. Unlike a normal fear, a phobia involves an intense, irrational fear of something that poses little or no real danger. I'm reading the comments. All of a sudden, everybody jumped on Officer Tyler and the LGBTQ. Yeah, are you laughing? What year are you going back to now? 2019? Tolerance? Why did you call Officer Tyler gay? This is a major controversy right now. 6 years. Do you understand why I know Officer Tyler? But go ahead, let me hear. Was it Twitter? Was it Instagram? Which one? Facebook? Go, let me hear. Which one? I want to hear who's going to explain it. Which group from Peel Region is going to explain this? Maybe Officer Tyler can explain it to you. And maybe you can drive the car over. When was Pride Day? Go ahead, explain away. The police car is rainbow colored, right? Why is it rainbow colored, that police car? They actually what? You're going to go and show me? I'm going to show everybody after we're done. You're the ones raising awareness. What are you doing? I met Officer Tyler at a community outreach event, and he was very polite and friendly. Your words hurt people, Amy. That's not nice. My words hurt people. What did you just text me? That I'm what? No, all of Malton is going to sit here and take a good look around them when they're done every single time I do this. Yeah, I'm sure they're smoking. I can smell it. Well, they have a different lease, right? What are your thoughts on the transgender community? Do you know what transgender means? What does it mean, transgender? You smoke in the unit all the time. Why do you care? I told you, every lie you tell, right? All of the police. Just make sure you know this is going on YouTube. Every single thing you put in here. Jesus isn't going to help you, buddy. Lies, lies. That's going to help you, right? Why don't you tell them again I'm in apartment 47? No, when they're sitting in the Tim Hortons, they're going to call Officer Tyler from across at the police station, right? We went over? We went over the story? Mm-hmm. I forgot. You want to remind me what happened? You went to the police station and what happened? You wanted charges dropped because he did what? No, I forgot. I wasn't there. You wanted the charges dropped against him and his partner because they what? They didn't do anything to you? Do police officers taser you for nothing? Do they shoot you for nothing? Well, as far as I know, the lady's husband called, right? Because she didn't have custody and something about, right. So you ask and then what? You're getting mad at what? Well, let me hear again. Tell me the story. That's the same Officer Tyler, right? The other officer was an officer in training. You want to pretend I don't know what I know? Go, let me hear you. You have a different version. Let me hear it. It is the point. Would you want to go over the building? The mental health call? That's right down the street from here, right? I used to live in 3420. That was 3425, that apartment building. Do you want to go over that one again? If he was really schizophrenic, if he was on medication? I walk there every day, right? I sit on the rock and I see it every single day. What do you want? You guys did this, right, with the mental health. So what are you telling me now, calling me crazy? I am waiting for the story. What are you guys doing? Yeah, I need medication. Take a good look at yourself, Moulton. When you're done this, right? All of you in this building, all the way, all 4 buildings, just look across. Look across at the building across from here. You'll remember Uncle Ejaz and calling schizophrenia. Everyone tonight, when you leave this building and you walk out of the mall, you'll go say hi to him. You still calling people what? You still don't know anything, telling me I need medication. Let me hear how he died again. Oh, go ahead. What happened? What time was he released? Anybody know that much? Anybody figure that one out yet? What time he was released from the hospital, if that was true? Well, what I know about the police calls, right? The ambulance, that's who showed up. And then what? They saw him with a knife, so they called the police. So if he came out of the hospital, out of the mental health unit, was on medication, was afraid of the police, how many hours was that when they got called again on him? Who called? Why would they call if he just came out of the hospital? I don't think they'd let him out of the hospital if he wasn't okay, right? That's a psychiatric ward. If he had medication, I'm pretty sure they'd make sure he was okay before they let him out, right? They have to do that to discharge you. So somewhere along the lines, I'm not understanding what happened in that couple of hours. And this is from someone who's been in that hospital, right? A 72-hour evaluation. 15 days, I was in that same hospital in Etobicoke in the psychiatric ward. So I'm pretty sure I know how it goes. You're the ones who killed them for nothing. And you're actually sitting here talking to me. Do you understand that, Moulton? You don't know why you're calling people crazy, but he's dead. Can you stop now? Can you learn what mental health is? Nobody's joking with any of you. How many times did I tell you? What is coming out of your mouth? How many people do you know in Malton that are schizophrenic right now? Not want to count. How many people do you know in Malton that are crazy? What do they do that makes them crazy? Are they violent? Yeah, we're going to count tonight. What else is mental health? What else is crazy? Oh, bipolar is crazy? And what do they do? What's psychotic then? When do people kill other people? What is that mental health considered? No, all of Malton is going back to mental health after this. Everybody in Malton, I told you, you're going to understand what it is. Let me hear why you're calling it. What is mental health? You can't be sitting here right now calling me crazy and telling me I need medication without paying for it. I asked who teaches you in Malton about mental health. You're ignorant. Look at you. You just told me I need medication for what reason? You're the ones who wanted to sue the police, right? For killing all these people? I want you to go over it again. Take a good look at that building. This is 7555 Gorway Drive. All of you are going to pass it again. Yeah, exactly. Every time they watch it, they're going to remember this. 6 years. They're going to remember everything. Mental health and addiction, right? Now we're in 2025. Everybody in Malton is going to separate now. 6 years. If they didn't know, right? Which one was addiction? The quicker you tell everybody, right? Go ahead over mental health again. What do I need medication for? I want you to tell all of Malton now. Nobody's getting away, I told you. Enough with the mouth. Who's going to go over the mental health issues? Canadian mental health? How many videos did I post? Who's going to go over them with you? Everybody's enjoying themselves. You had free reign running around saying whatever you wanted about people, insulting people, degrading people. Now it's time face to face, right? What would happen in person? After Malton watches this and they think about 6 years where they were and what they did, then you'll tell me, leave comments about, Amy, you degrade homeless and addicted people all the time. You constantly insult the Malton moms and anyone who uses a food bank. Considering, right, when I opened my life coach business, you're the ones that stole it. What are you, Daniel now? Stole it? You going to the library after to converse? Who do you think you're joking with? What Malton moms? They had a group of what? You were a joke. Where's Jonathan Davis? Let me hear again. Did the community center eat him? Nobody's getting away. Call my name again. How many times did I tell you? You what? How did you get homeless? You did that. Why did you need a food bank? I did that. Why didn't you go ask the Malton moms what happened? What do they have to do with me? I didn't destroy the community of Malton. I'm not the one holding fundraisers every week. I'm not the one who's supposed to have an anniversary for 2 gun shootings, right? At the same building with the same girl. That's you guys. Did you forget? Well, go ahead, PTSD, Jonathan Davis, and then the same girl, right? A year after, 2020. Wasn't yesterday the anniversary, September 3rd? What are you grinning at? Was it a racist thing because she was brown? I'd love to hear that to top it off. You what? What, you don't know where the Darcel buildings are? Why didn't you take the trail and go after? You calling who? They're going to go back every time you have blood on your hands. You're going to sit right here. Every one of you, everywhere you go in Malton. Every one of you that was in the Malton Moms group. You're going to remember the 3 boys, right? The fire? Yeah, maybe you'll get the fire marshals to put another stuffed dog. You can ask them about the Dalmatians, right? Where they got them and how much they paid to donate them. Do you remember the fire where the 3 kids died? What did it say about the Malton moms there? They were involved? You want to take over the live stream too, right? They own Malton, so enjoy. Like I said, Malton trash. You just sit here and watch it, the whole world. They're going to remember every single day. They can go over community building. Remember your community building? You had Humble the Poet, the Narcissist. What'd you do with him? They had the Malton moms, right? Narcissists. No feelings, no empathy, right? Animals. They wanted money for 6 years, so they got all the money and nothing left in Malton. All the money's gone, right? All the subsidies and housing and money gone, but nothing to show for it. Right, community building? And what do you want now? Somebody to sustain what? I'm going to end the live stream and go smoke, right? Like the rest of you. The hard drugs, right? We're going to watch them smoke the hard drugs and talk about people when we go to the mall later in Malton. Enjoy your night, Malton. Amy Seukeran, Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Life Coach.